Hey guys, Reza here. Welcome to Budget Audio Reviews. Today, I'll be reviewing the CCA CA16. This will be a super easy review, super quick review. Why? Because these guys are just amazing and awesome. The CCA CA16 to me is the jack of all trades and master of almost everything. Okay, so these guys have totally wowed me. For the fact that the budget is comparing these, I'd like to compare these accordingly to the TRN VX and the TRN BA5 because those are the other two IEMs that I have right now. And the VX is about 10 Singapore dollars or 15 Singapore dollars more than the CCA CA16. So what's so special about this, guys? You guys can read up about all the specs on AliExpress, on the website and everything, but I want to bring your attention to the sound quality immediately. The CCA CA16, these guys can perform on everything. So the way I test my my earphones is just that I plug it in, I select my earphone test track playlist, and I just play anything on shuffle play right here. And if I can enjoy most of the music on my earphones, then these guys are really good. So it doesn't have to be finicky type of music. So what I did enjoy with the CCA CA16 was it was able to play almost all genres very well. Now let's talk about the bass. Let's say we talk about bass. Alright, so the CCA CA16 has very good sub bass. It has good bass overall, that it doesn't muddy or it affects the rest of the sounds that's coming towards you in terms of the music. So you will not have any bleeding of mid bass into the vocals, which is super excellent. And I do think that this guys gives a very relaxed listening experience, because this one's likely will be my daily driver, meaning from home to work and back to home. So my journey from home to work is about 45 minutes, and it has to be very comfortable listening. So bass has to be audible because I'm moving outdoors and I'm inside the train, and the noise of the train is in the background. So any low frequencies will be disturbed by the hum and the drone of the train in the background. So this guys, the sub bass is able to kick off real well, and you're able to hear all the bass that's going on in the background for most music. So even if you're not playing EDM, you're playing like country Nashville sounds, like I've been on Tupelo by Jason Isbell. So right here, this album right up here, so that one, I really love that album, and I could enjoy that album from home all the way to work. And the next thing, we want to go to the mids, the vocals. So the CCA 16 is able to drive all the vocals with great warmth and texture. So I liked how the CCA CA16 is able to push the vocals into a layer where it's in front of the music and it's not irritating to the ears. You're able to hear the timbre of the voice. So I could hear Jason Isbell's voice very well. Even if I went to the binaural recording, again, one of my favorites right now is Amber Rubaf's sessions. So you can hear the timbre of a voice really well with the CA16. Now these guys, they have a neutral to warm tone, so they are not an analytical IEM. So if you want an analytical IEM, I just received the TRN VX, and comparing this to the TRN VX, these guys have a neutral to warm tone, and it is very pleasing to the ears. So you will not have to strain your ears in any way. So you feel very relaxed while listening to this for most genres of music. So even if I plug in Daft Punk, I plug in Nigel Stanford from Solar Echoes, what else? Anything that's on my earphone test tracks playlist here. I like to play, let's see, which one is this? Yes, Summer in the City by Quincy Jones. This one I just played for a few seconds. Hopefully YouTube doesn't censor me. Could you hear that? I love this track because the beats play right through the earphones really well. And this is an old recording. This is 1974-76 if I'm not wrong. And what I love about the CA16 is that it can bring out all the flavors of most genres of music with different types of recording. So with this recording, is an old recording, but you're able to enjoy every single bit of the music, the drums, the cymbals, the keyboards, and later on even the vocals. So these guys are just an amazing pair of headphones. Coming to the trebles, to the highs. So these guys have a slightly, what do you call it, a rolled off treble, I think. So it's very pleasing again when you hear the highs, especially on Hotel California, 1994 MTV Live. The rings of the steel guitars float up in the sky, but it's not piercing sharp. It doesn't irritate your ears, and you're able to enjoy the ambience of the music really, really well. Coming to ambience, these guys, I'm not sure what they did with this. Maybe it is the design of the shell. Maybe it's the material of the shell. Comparing this to the TRNs, both the TRNs that I have, the VX and the BA5, are made of some kind of magnesium alloy, which is metal. So that's possibly the reason why it has a somewhat metallic sheen to the sound. But this guys, this plastic here, it's got that nice, good, neutral, warm sound. Plus, you get a lot of soundstage. You get a lot of depth to the music. Coming to the left and right, you feel that you need to reach out to the sounds further ahead, which I thought was really beautifully done on these guys here. So to wrap this up, this will be a very short review. I just want to praise CCA for doing an extremely well-tuned earphones that I can fully enjoy on my own for very long hours, 3 to 4 hours maybe straight up at night. The only thing that you might want to consider would be changing the ear tips. So the stock ear tips, if you can see in the pictures, are just this white, very soft silicone. They're fairly short. And what happened was it came with a medium-sized tips, and when I stuffed it into my ears, I had to push this guy all the way into my ears just to get some kind of seal. So it still felt loose and wobbly. Switched out to the large ones, same thing, go in all the way in. It felt a bit more fit. But what happened is you have to push it all the way in till you felt that almost all these surfaces were stuck on the insides of your ear. And the material is slightly different. The silicone material of the stock tips are a little bit softer. So what happens with that tip, you bring out this slight sibilance in the upper mids and trebles a little bit. So you do get a bit of the on the trebles. Over time, it gets a little bit fatiguing and a little bit tiring. But guess what? I swapped out with the TRN ear tips. These are the TRN medium tips, which I was using on the BA5. I swapped it in here, and beautiful. So now I have better seal on my ears. So these guys have a good feeling to the tips. This round shape here is compared, because the CCA ones are kind of squarish. So these guys are round, so it fits real well. So the seal is good, and the earphones are not right up to my ears like that. It's right about there. It's just about nice, and it stays. It doesn't shake. There's no wobble, and the overall seal is good. So what happens is the sibilance reduce slightly. Trebles become wow, nice, very, very pleasurable to listen to. The mids, the vocals are still nice and textured with again that neutral warm tone that it has. Bass is still kicking at the sub bass level. Good kind of thump that doesn't overstays when it needs to. So surprisingly for this dynamic driver, it's very well controlled dynamic driver, and I like how the bass again supports the music without being overly boomy. So I do love the overall sound signature of this guy. You can listen to anything on this: soundtracks, classical, rock. Yes, it did very well with Metallica. Awesome stuff. It did super good with Metallica, and the crunchy distortions are superb. And these guys, they do very well with a little bit of amping. So I'll just switch to the Wavelet app right here. If you can see, Wavelet has the graphic equalizer, which has the presets. All you need to do is just click on the presets, select bass boost, which I did here. Oops, wrong one. Just select bass boost. Alright, you go to this signature here. It just ups the bass a little bit, and what happens if you need a bit more punch in the bass, this app will do very, very well. So I use Wavelet once in a while if I do need the boost. Other than that, run it stock. If you could order some TRN ear tips, or if you have a few other ear tips hanging around at home, do roll the ear tips and test for optimal fit. Alright, and seal and test the silicone, because the stock silicones to me are not very good. Surprisingly though, the stock silicones did very well for the BA5. I'll talk about that on another video. So this guy now, the CCA CA16, I would liken it to a Swiss Army knife. It's built with great, decent quality. If I just plug this guys out, you can see that nice gold nozzle with that silvery mesh inside. It looks so good. The piano black finish looks real classy. It may be plastic, but it's got this really classy sheen to it, which I really love. Now the cables are a little bit different than the TRN ones. The cable has a bit more stiff texture. I'm not going to take it out of the case right here, but overall it's a little bit stiffer. It's not too soft, which is quite good. So when you take it out, it kind of hangs and dangles quite well and doesn't get tangled, which is okay. So overall, I would give this CCA CA16, man, it's almost a 9 out of 10 in terms of everything. Bass, mids, trebles, fit, comfort, soundstage, imaging, everything. So this is a true winner. It is a true winner in its price range, if I'm not wrong, because I do not have any other IEMs to compare to, but just comparing side by side with the BA5, side by side with the VX, man, this thing is awesome. So try it out. You know, if you have a friend's CCA CA16, try it out. If not, this will be definitely worth your budget. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Do like, subscribe, and share the video if you like what you've seen today. Reza here from Budget Audio Reviews, signing out.